Greetings, folks. Listen up to this interview with our Minister for Education, Norma Foley, being interviewed by Ben Scallon of Gript Media. Now, I have never seen such a confident, incompetent Minister for Education in all my life. What Norma Foley is trying to do to our children in our Irish classrooms is child abuse. And, you know, if you think, parents, that this SPHE programme is the only curriculum that this sort of wokeology, ideology nonsense is going to be introduced to, you need to wake up now and come out from behind the curtains and make contact with your principals and teachers in your local schools where your children are attending, because this woke ideology nonsense that Norma Foley is railroading into our Irish classrooms is now going to be part of every other curriculum, geography, history, coming on the tracks. This is only the tip of the iceberg. So listen up, folks, and watch.
Minister, your department funded DCU's SPHE course for teachers and promoted it, encouraging teachers to attend. And at least 2 lecturers on that course have written of the need to, quote, challenge young children's presumed sexual innocence in sex ed and consider RSE as a unique opening to challenge the restrictive and harmful constructions of children as innocent beings. So I'm just wondering, are you happy that an SPHE course on sex ed, which your department is funding using taxpayer money, and which is entirely based around informing teachers on how to teach sex ed, would be influenced by people who want to challenge children's presumed sexual innocence? Is that something that you're happy to stand over?
Well, if I could say, the guidelines for the SPHE course are freely available online, and the curriculum is outlined on the Department of Education website, on the NCCA website, so we're very clear on what's to be taught in classroom. The personal views or the views of the people who are teaching in a course are not influencing the agenda that is taught in the classroom or the curriculum as laid out by the department and laid out by the NCCA. 2 very separate issues.
Well, on that issue, you've publicly said that the claims made by teacher Mary Creedon about DCU's SPHE course are misrepresentation, but last week Gript released a recording from that class which showed a teacher did have discussions with the class about fisting and rimming and other kinds of things like that.
I do have to say, I did something with intimacy as well, and both rimming and fisting came up, so I just thought you'd like to know that.
Wow, thank you. There's no context to this conversation.
No, I can imagine the context. Sorry. It's all right. I know exactly what you're talking about. Yeah, and that, to me, that they did that on the elbow, just to me, it's like tells me that they were just dying to get dirty with it, just couldn't hold back. So it's great that you create the space for them to just get that stuff out.
So do you think Mary Creedon, in light of that, is owed an apology, given the fact that these are issues which are apparently being discussed in classrooms?
No, I'm not at all aware of that recording that you refer to there, and I can't stand over the fact that...
Sorry, Minister, is that not a problem that you're not aware of that? Why is it that I am aware of that, but you, as the Minister for Education, wouldn't be? Isn't this your area that you were supposed to be running as a department and as a sector?
Well, again, and I would say to you, I'm very clear on what the curriculum is for the SPHE course. It's available online. I invite anyone, including yourself, to look at it online, whether on the department website or whether on the NCCA website. I know that, for example, the DCU training course that's there is a training course for adults, material that's discussed amongst adults in an adult conversation.
But Minister, it's adults, but they're adult teachers. It's informing teachers how to teach RSE.
No explicit material is shown in a classroom. I stand over the fact that adults may well have conversations around subject matter and topics, which is for an adult audience. We're very, very clear that anything that is taught in the classroom is age and stage appropriate, and under no circumstances is explicit material shown in a class.
I've just told you, Minister, this audio recording is teachers on this course discussing what they talked about in the RSE classroom and how topics like fisting and rimming were coming up during the class discussion. Again, I'm telling you, this is what the recording shows.
I would bring to your attention the fact that I'm not aware of anywhere on the curriculum or anywhere on the syllabus.
It doesn't matter if it's on the curriculum, it's being discussed.
There is taught in the classroom. I can only refer to what is laid down in the guidelines to be taught in a classroom. So nowhere is any of the language that you have referenced specifically referenced in the teaching of the SPHE curriculum. Now, I've taught for many, many years myself. You can never legislate for what a child might ask in a classroom, for a topic a child might broach in a classroom, but I can say to you in terms of what is being taught in the classroom and what teachers are being trained to teach in a classroom is available online, and it speaks to issues of how to manage stress, how to manage health and well-being, how to protect yourselves in an online world, how to protect
nobody has a problem with that. Nobody has an issue with any of that.
Alcohol or drug use or whatever.
Minister, you're filibustering, Minister. This is not in contention.
There are so many aspects to SPHE, and you persist in referencing one, which is not on.
I believe there are many parents. I believe there are many parents in this country who are particularly concerned about this one. That's why I'm persistent in asking about it. And again, in this particular recording, which you should have heard because it went viral, it's of great concern to many people in this country. The teachers are talking about how it's great that space was provided for these children to, quote, get dirty. These are the kinds of phraseology that are being used by teachers who are participating in this course, which is funded by your department. And apparently you have absolutely nothing to say about that other than, oh, I didn't see it. I'm not sure what you're referring to. That's not on the curriculum. Do you really think that's good enough? And do you think people at home watching this will think that that's good enough?
I have plenty to say when I'm given the opportunity. And what I say to you is I can point to the guidelines that are there. I can point to what's on the curriculum to be taught in the classroom. What happens amongst an adult conversation, amongst adult teachers who are being trained, that's an adult conversation. It is not the conversation that is part of the laid down syllabus.
It's happening in classrooms.
Presented by the NCCA or available on the Department of Education guidelines. Thank you.
It's really not good enough.
Thank you. Thanks very much.